I'm Sarah from OTR, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I'm Donald B. Billy Boudreaux, and this is going to be my breakdown video, my breakdown predictions video for tonight's TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view. Now, guys, something I want to say right off the bat before I get into my predictions. Now, I went to the Slammiversary website, and I, to get all the matches, get all the info, and everything like that. And believe it or not, apparently the rumors are true that WWE Intercontinental Champion Christian will be on TNA's Slammiversary pay-per-view tonight. So I guess maybe the rumors are true. Maybe he's the one that's going to be inducted into the first inductee to TNA's Hall of Fame. I don't know. But, his picture is on the website. And even Dixie Carter has tweeted about it, about Christian being at Slammiversary tonight. So I don't know what this means, about Christian's WWE career. If he's making the jump like that, or if WWE is allowing him to be there, just like TNA allowed Ric Flair to be at WWE's Hall of Fame for the Four Horsemen. I don't know. I'm just saying. Well, let's go ahead and get into the pay-per-view. The first match is we're going to talk about is Kid Kash versus Hernandez. Now, the past few weeks, I have seen no build to this match. Apparently, this is possibly just something they're throwing together, possibly as either an opener for Slammiversary or maybe a filler match or something like that. It's classic speed and experience versus power and size in Kid Kash and Hernandez. If I had to, flip a coin, if I had one, I'm just going to go, I'm just going to throw out this one and just say, I'm just going to say Hernandez is going to win this one. It's just a flat-out guess, because like I said, there's been no build into this match, no prior announcements. I haven't seen anything on on Impact Wrestling in the past few weeks about this match. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and throw out and say Hernandez. Next up, we have Crimson's Open Challenge. Now, from the way I see they're going to play this is the way I think they're going to play this, because the rumors are, or what they're saying in the news is TNA has now officially picked up the masterpiece, Chris Masters, for their company, for their organization. But there are also rumors that John Morrison has also been picked up. So this is a way. They can bring him up. Either between the masterpiece Chris Masters or John Morrison. But be that as it may, if they do bring either one of those two guys in, look for those guys to go over on Crimson, because they say Crimson has run roughshod all over TNA. He's undefeated. Nobody in the company can beat him, and I would think the only way that they would have him lose his very first match is to bring in one of the big name guys, either like John Morrison or Chris Masters, and have them go over on Crimson. I'm leaning more towards Chris Masters coming in. And going over on Crimson and handing Crimson his first loss. That's my official thoughts on it. Next up, we have a tag team match. It's Robbie E. and Robbie T. versus Devon and Garrett Bischoff. Now, the way this match came about, apparently Robbie E. is very upset the fact that Devon took his television championship and has been, constantly interfering in his matches. And one of the matches that he interfered with was Devon and Garrett Bischoff. And apparently those two had it and decided to team up, and they're going to be tagging at this pay-per-view tonight. And now, if they put Robbie E. and Robbie T. over in this match, quite possibly we're probably looking at a future television title match, and maybe the title going back to Robbie E. But the way they got Devon going as of late, they really have Devon on a really good push for the with the television title, and with them having a lot of faith to put a singles title on Devon, when I really didn't think he was good enough for a singles title. No offense to Devon, I hope he's not watching. I'm going to go ahead and say Devon and Garrett Bischoff get the win on this one, and just have the continuing antics of Robbie E and Robbie T. You never know, hilarity maybe. Next up is Samoa Joe versus the X Division champion Austin Aries. Now, I would think this would be an X Division title match, but from the way they have it on the Slammiversary website, there is no indication at all that this is a title match. So, would be that as it may, this has the makings for a really good match. It's basically Samoa Joe returning to the X Division in a sense, going after Austin Aries. With two guys as big as these two are going, and the crowd being into them a lot, as both of these guys are, I'm really looking forward to possibly an exciting match between these two. But as for who would go over, if I would have to pick a guy who's more over, as long as Samoa Joe has been in the TNA, I would have to go with Austin Aries. I think Austin Aries is a lot more over on the crowd, and I think tonight he's the one that's going to get the victory instead of Samoa Joe, because I don't know if Samoa Joe really wants to return to the X Division in a sense. I don't know if he, considering the fact that, he's a former champion and he's also been in the tag team division, but they really haven't used him very much. So I don't know, maybe Samoa Joe's time is dwindling in TNA. You never know. Next up we have Bully Ray and Joseph Park. Now this has just been intertwined with drama after drama after drama. Now I will give it to Joseph Park, a.k.a. Chris Park, a.k.a. Abyss. The way he's been able to portray these two characters has been phenomenal. Especially, he's been playing, he's done Abyss ever since TNA's inception. And for him to come on and play this new character, the brother of Abyss, Joseph Park, and he's done it very, very well. He's done it very, very well. He's got a lot of people thinking that that there are two people, a Joseph Park and an Abyss. But I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb here. Abyss has already made a statement saying that he will be involved in this match. I don't know. Maybe we'll see a metamorphosis. Maybe we'll see the whole thing. Maybe like Abyss maybe has multiple personalities. Because you never know. Because it's basically the same, one guy playing two different roles. It's possible they can go that route. But I will give it to him though. He's done a phenomenal job with this storyline. Both him and Bully Ray, they have done a phenomenal job with this storyline. Now, as far as who would go over in this match, with Abyss's involvement, I would have to say I have to lean towards more Joseph Park. Maybe Joseph Park metamorphosizing into Abyss during the match. You never know. But so I'm just going to go out on a limb here and pick Joseph Park. Next up, we have the Knockouts title match. Brooke Tessmacher taking on the champion Gail Kim. Now, they've had Brooke Tessmacher get the better of Gail Kim for the better part of 2 or 3 weeks. And normally when that kind of stuff happens in wrestling, that kind of tells me that the champion is going to go over at the pay-per-view. They're going to have the crowd, hyped up and build up so much into the challenger, seeing the challenger get the better of the champion on the week in and week out. And then when it comes to the pay-per-view, they throw the big swerve at him and have the champion retain the title. Now, Brooke Tessmacher, she's hot, she's talented, she's got good in-ring work, and Normally I would say some more things, but I'm in my parents' house, so I'm not going to go ahead and say that, because if I did, I would have a few people yelling at me if I did. Anyway, but I don't know if possibly she's ready to make the step up to Knockouts champion. I could be wrong here, but this is my personal opinion. I think she's kind of like a few of these other guys in here. They're good for making runs at the title. I don't think they're possibly ready for a championship just yet, because they've done a lot with Gail Kim ever since she came back to TNA and took over as Knockouts champion. And she's done a great job as heel champion too. And that's something that TNA really doesn't have a lot of. You know, you know what I say? Let me take that back, because they have Bobby Roode as a heel champion, Gail Kim as a heel champion, Daniels and Kazarian as a heel champion. I'll address that match coming up. And I think the only real face champion they have right now is Austin Aries. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go with the odds here, and you know, to make it a little bit more level here, you know, even though Gail Kim has done a great job as TNA champion, TNA Knockouts champion, if I can learn to talk right, you know what? I'm going to call this upset of the night, because you never know. There has to be an upset somewhere. So I'm going to officially put, you know, this is the first time I've done it on my predictions video. I'm going to start doing it now for future predictions videos for pay-per-views, and upset of the night. So my upset of the night is going to be Brooke Tessmacher winning the Knockouts Championship for the first time and defeating Gail Kim tonight. Now, we have the number one contenders match, and a few guys that my twin sister Jenny is very familiar with. First off, it's Mr. Anderson taking on Rob Van Dam and Jeff Hardy in a three-way match. Now, as difficult as it would be to ascertain a prediction for a one-on-one match for a number one contendership, a three-way is just a tad more difficult, because you have three guys who are pure main eventers in TNA, and that's Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, and Mr. Anderson. So it's very hard to say who would really go over in this match, because you know all three guys, you know, they have their status in a sense in TNA. You know, Rob Van Dam, who basically never lost the championship, and you know, Jeff Hardy and and Mr. Anderson both have legitimate gripes with Bobby Roode, as does Rob Van Dam. So this might be another one where I might have to flip a three-sided coin if one such exists. You know, because this one is really difficult. It's really, really difficult. You know what? Even though she's not paying attention, I'm going to throw it out to my twin sister Jenny. She doesn't have to come on, but I'm going to have her shout. Jenny, number one contenders match for TNA, for the TNA Championship. Who do you think would win? Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, or Mr. Anderson? Jenny?
I would go with Jeff Hardy. He's more willing to take more risks than either one of them.
Well, Rob Van Dam takes just as many risks as Jeff Hardy.
That's a little more crazy.
Well, yeah, especially with the face paint. Especially with his, I don't know how he paints eyeballs on his eyelids like that. It's just kind of, creeping me out. You never know when the dude's awake or asleep, for that matter. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and agree with Jenny here. I'm going to put my prediction with Jeff Hardy. Basically because it's really hard to kind of figure out for myself who would I pick for number one contenders, because all three guys would make really viable and really good number one contenders for the TNA heavyweight title. But I'm just gonna, we're just gonna go random here, and I'm gonna go with my twin sister Jenny and say Jeff Hardy. World Tag Team Championship match is next, and this one is embroidered with controversy, as Daniels and Kazarian defending titles against AJ Styles and Kurt Angle. Now, originally the way this match came up, apparently Kurt Angle has been pissed week in and week out with Daniels and Kazarian interfering in his matches, and and going after AJ Styles apparently with this angle about AJ having an affair with TNA president Dixie Carter. And now, like I said, we need good, viable tag teams. I think Daniels Kazarian is a good, viable tag team. I don't know if they would put the titles on Styles and Kurt Angle, considering the fact this is, a one-off tag team. They've never tagged before, really, and especially with all this controversy involving AJ Styles, Dixie Carter, and her husband. I don't know. Maybe it could heat up the angle a little bit. Maybe it could. It's possible. But would they put the titles on Styles and Kurt Angle? I'm thinking they might. Because then that would heat up and infuriate Daniels and Kazarian, especially with everything involving with Dixie Carter. But now that I think about it, we could be seeing Dixie Carter's husband get involved in tonight's match. I mean, he did floor AJ Styles with a good right hook on the last Impact Wrestling. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Dixie Carter's husband somehow come out and get involved in this match and possibly cost Styles and Angle the tag team titles. So you guys kind of see how I like to think out loud, especially on these prediction videos. So now that I have thought about that, with the looming factor of the possible appearance of Dixie Carter's husband, I'm going to go ahead and pick Daniels and Kazarian to retain the tag team championships. And now the World Heavyweight Championship, the It Factor. The leader of the Selfish Generation, Bobby Roode, the TNA Heavyweight Champion, defends the title against the Icon Sting. Now, I have nothing against Sting. I'm a big fan of his for years and years. But would they put the title on him tonight, the Insane Icon? I don't know. Because Bobby Roode has been a phenomenal heel champion for TNA. He has really stirred the pot, as it were. And he now technically owns the moniker as the longest reigning champion in TNA history. I think over 200 days. So, very hard to say. I don't think they should take the title off of Bobby Roode because of the amazing job he's done. I don't think that would be happening anytime soon until they bring in a good, viable contender. Not to say that Sting isn't a viable contender, but I don't think fans want to see Sting with another TNA Heavyweight Championship reign. But from the way things are going, it's possible that they're going to do that and have Bobby Roode, immediately cash in his rematch clause on the following Impact and do whatever he can to get that title back. So if they're really looking to make a good feud with Sting and Bobby Roode, especially when it comes to the TNA Heavyweight Championship, then I think what would be best is if they had Roode drop the title to Sting tonight and then have Roode cash it in at possibly the next pay-per-view for TNA and just kind of have them go at it for about a couple of months. Because, with Sting's experience and the role Bobby Roode is on, this has the makings for a really great feud. Especially, it's already been a great feud. But it can be even better now that the heavyweight title has been thrown into the mix. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Sting wins the title tonight. But however, I would not be amiss and I would not be upset if Bobby Roode retained the title tonight. So what I want to know now is, what are your guys' predictions for tonight's TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view? Put your comments in the comment section below or in the video response. I'll look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like and favorite this video, and don't forget to visit the official Facebook page for WGS-TV, facebook.com/WGS-TV. And don't forget, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
GCW, Gulf Coast Wrestling, where the bad boys play.
Gulf Coast Wrestling of Louisiana proudly presents Ring of Fire at the New Iberia City Park Rec Center in New Iberia, Louisiana, Friday, June 22nd, and Cajun Carnage at the American Legion Hall in Abbeville, Louisiana, Saturday, June 23rd. Come out and watch your GCW superstars put it all on the line as we bring the most intense, most high-impact wrestling that we have to offer. Those on the card, Kid Crash, as well as the one and only Green Man, Ronald A. Mikey Boudreaux, Flip Wolfman Jackson. Another on the line here is the big mother trucker himself, Trucker Jones, Big John Steele, the GCW Abbeville Tag Team Champions, High Definition, as well as the heavyweight champion, The Rocket. Also featuring former WWE superstar and diva, the female fighting phenom Jazz, and Red Dog Rodney Mack. That's right, folks, come out to Abbeville and New Iberia, June 22nd and 23rd, as we bring you some of the most intense wrestling here in South Louisiana. Now, tickets are on sale in both locations. For the Iberia show, GCW-GulfCoastWrestling.com, and click the tickets icon. And for the Abbeville show, call 772-8010, 517-6548, and 517-0823. Once again, folks, this is a double weekend, Friday and Saturday, June 22nd and 23rd, New Iberia and Abbeville, Ring of Fire, Cajun Carnage. You do not want to miss this, folks. You have every opportunity, so get your tickets now. This is action. This is adrenaline. This is GCW.